I'll admit, the Lord was not what I expected. After learning of his return in, I believe it was 2013, his arrival in 2011, I was a Christian going to church and that kind of thing, and he wasn't what I expected. Yeah, but he did match Scripture perfectly. Plus, in addition to that, I learned about the Torah codes, which is an equidistant lettering sequence in the Torah and the Tanakh that revealed his name a year ago over 300 times, and now we must be, well over 500 by now. These discoveries were made by Prime Cleric Richard Ruff. I understand a lot more about the Father and the Son since the Lord's arrival in 2011. The Commanderies put out a full list of videos that everybody should take full advantage of. There's writings and videos, like I said, that you should check out and get up to speed, and so you can be fully illuminated. I learned of the Lord's return in 2013. It must have been January that I first viewed the UN briefing, and I was in 2 feet of snow, eastern Washington, taking a break, and was watching something about UFOs or aliens, just surfing the YouTube, trying to find something good to watch before I went to sleep, and I saw UN briefing, alien god arrival, and that's right up my alley. Very interesting. Clicked on it. 2 hours long. Wow. All right, this is going to take a while. So I watched it, and I watched it several times that month. But after I finished watching it that evening, there's so much information to process, but I was very ready to process it because I had been studying the Bible for a long time by myself, in addition to going to church and various Bible studies, people's perspective. I would take anybody's cassette, pastors hand them out, truck stops, churches, I was checking everybody's perspective out, seeing what they had, and it's very interesting. After watching that, prayed that, this, could this really be it, and I knew it was time. I had known about 2011, 2012. I had been telling, friends and family and whatnot that, according to Scripture, I do believe the Messiah should be here by now. I don't know what's going on, but he should be here by now. I didn't use a computer a lot at that time, and I've done construction, drove trucks, so I spent very little time on the computer, just barely learning how to use one really. And I had this little tablet is where I first watched the UN briefing, and I picked it up for Christmas that year. And after watching the UN briefing, the tablet just then began to give me the synchronizing symbol, the little circle, and it wouldn't play anymore. And I then heard a voice, and it said, "Scream and shout, will I am." And it was the Lord's voice. It was the same voice that was in the video. And so then, I was shocked. Either I had just gone nuts and heard my first voice, or, the Lord spoke to me and told me to do that which I felt I had already been called to do. When I drove truck, I listened to Scripture, day and night, just and I would speak it out loud, and I would yell it, to help me stay awake and things like that. 'Cause it was only me in the truck, that what I thought was only me in the truck, but he obviously knew what was going on, and gave me an opportunity to serve. So I then joined the International Congregation of the Lord RayEl, which it prompts you to do at the end of the video, to continue seeking the truth and the Lord. And I did, with the help of a family member. Like I said, I wasn't really good with the computer, and I saw that they had an exodus going on, and that was so me, because I didn't like what America stood for. I don't like attacking third world countries with the tax dollars that are paid. When we're attacking somebody, and the war that happens because of that is someone else protecting their home. Of course they're going to try to protect their home. Just so America can invade and exploit their natural resources and enslave the people there, just as we were enslaved in America. And so I did the Exodus, and I left. I meditated on this for a while, because this was a big change in my life. I had to leave everything, and I just put some of my tools. I left a lot of stuff in storage. I drove away from a lot when I left. According to the world, it was a lot. But for the promise of much more, I did it, and it wasn't easy, but I had to do it. And so I left America, and I'm in my third year of not being there, and I'm a much better human for having done that, because I am not supporting America's wars. It's what the rest of the people need to know, is that those who are not with us are against us, and we're bringing peace back to the earth. The Lord requires truth and love in all things, and that people should push this to the front of their agendas, bringing peace to the earth.